Wow, has this meeting been awesome or what? Man, my phone is blowing up. Ontario, you guys are blowing up my phone, right? I think my phone's gonna break. We're gonna have to call Apple. But hey, did the 2-minute speakers and 3-minute speakers do a great job? Yeah. Let's hear from them. Right, how about all our 7-minute speakers? Let's hear it for all of them. Awesome. Wow, it's different being live, isn't it? Right, here's the good news for Calgary is that starting this Saturday, every Saturday training, we're all going to be in the back room, experience it live. You guys excited about that? Yeah. So make sure you show up early on Saturdays. It won't affect the Zoom experience for everybody, but there's definitely a different feeling building in person, right? Write this down. Leaders are built in person. You build leaders in person. That's the power of having an office, right? Only half you wrote that down, so maybe everybody should write that down. Leaders are built in person. So you want to make sure that you find yourself face-to-face with your leaders. This is not some online deal where you're going to build people strictly online. You got to get with your people. You got to get in an environment. There's some uses for technology. There's uses for expansion, right? But you want to make sure you're getting face-to-face with your people all the time. And I'm honored to be able to close this meeting. I just can't believe that everybody in this room is on my team. I just can't believe it, Jay. I cannot believe it. At 23 years old, 18 years ago, when I signed my code, I had no idea what I was actually getting myself into. I had no idea it was going to be this big. I had no idea that there was going to be so many great people. And I never imagined. I told myself I was going to make $1 million a year. I told myself this is going to change my life. I never actually believed it. I never actually believed it until it started to happen. So if you're sitting here today and you lack belief and you're wondering kind of why you're here and this is you're worried that this is going to be Groundhog Day again, all over again, the same year as last year, it doesn't have to be. This could be your year if you decide it's going to be your year. So I'm going to share with you guys some things tonight. And with your permission, I'd like to talk to you like you're on my base shop. Is that fair? Yeah. Awesome. But before I do, I just want to say one thing. I'm so fired up. I'm as excited today. In fact, I'm more excited today than I've ever been starting my 18th year in World Financial Group. Yeah. I can barely sleep at night. Ask my wife. I'm up at all hours of the night. I'm up at 4:30 a.m. A couple days ago, I showed up to the gym at 4:15 a.m. And I realized they didn't even open until 8 a.m. So I drove all the way across Calgary to a stupid Good Life that opened at 5 a.m. And I'm working out and I'm just pumping out and I'm listening to playlists and I'm reading my goals. And I'm so inspired. I feel like I'm 23 years old again. And I can't wait to get to the office. I can't wait to show up and see Philip, who's already here, right? And Trapper, who's pulling in, and all the amazing humans that are at this office. But I'm not showing up. I'm not just showing up to show up anymore. Right, I'm showing up because I got a game plan and I have a vision for all of you in this room. Everybody in this room is a part of my vision. I want you to know that. So even if you don't have a vision for yourself, that's okay, right? Me, Chad, Amber, all the leaders, we got you covered, right? Because there's a place for you in our dreams, even if you lack the dreams for yourself. So our vision for this year, we're going to license 400 new people. Who's excited about that? Yeah. 400 people. That's not a big deal. That's barely 30 people a month, right? That's barely 30 people a month. I'm talking to some of these leaders, right? There's some SMDs in this room that are going to do 5, 6, 7 in January, right? We're going to push probably double digits in January in our base shop, right? Recruiting has already started off on a great foot. You got big base shops like Thompson's hitting DDR in December, right? Some great things that are happening on the team, right? Leaders are getting directs. We're going to promote 15 senior brokers this year. Who's excited about that? Yeah. Bare minimum. We're going to add another 30 people that cross 6 figures. Who's excited about that? Yeah. I checked the numbers today. There's like 20 people that are right there to cross 6 figures. 20 people, right? We're going to promote another 30 people to 6 figures. And I believe by the end of next year, we're going to have over 200 people on this team making 6 figures. And we're just getting warmed up. Yeah. And we are just getting warmed up. I'm so grateful that I've been here for 18 years. I wouldn't trade any part of it. I don't wish it happened faster. I maybe wish I got better sooner, right? But I don't wish it happened faster because everything comes in due time. And I love that Amber said, you are where you are at because you are where you are at. That is on you. You got to own it. And sometimes it sucks to own it, and sometimes it feels good to own it, but you got to own it. Good year, bad year, you got to own it. All right, let's get real. Time to pull out your pen. I want to talk about 3 things. Number 1, if you're expecting different results this year, things need to be different. Different results mean things need to be different. So what's on that list of things that are going to be different? What's on that list? What is it? Are you getting up earlier? Are you showing up to and again, they don't all these things don't need to be on your list, by the way. I'm just throwing out some ideas, but you need to have a list. Are you going to get up earlier? Are you going to show up to the office more? Are you once and for all going to commit to personal recruiting? Once and for all, personal recruiting. Have you already started to notice a difference 4 days in? 2 days from now, we're 2% through the year, 98% of the month or the year will be left. Have you already noticed the difference? Have you already felt the difference in your health? Have you already noticed the difference in maybe your finances? Have you already noticed the difference in your business? Do you have a different energy coming into 2023 like buzzin' muzzin'? And if the answer is no, tonight you have to hit the emergency alarm button. And you got to figure you out. Because if you don't figure this thing out by the end of this week, there's a really good chance that this year looks exactly like last year. You're not going to figure this thing out in February. You're not going to figure this thing out in March. When are you going to figure it out? Right now. Now's the time to figure it out. Does that make sense? Now's the time to figure it out. And that's the good news, because at the end of the day, this is a mental game. Steve, I thought we were in financial services. No, this is a mental game. This is a mental game. And it's all about your mentality, and it's all about your willingness to suspend your disbelief. Just for a little bit. Hey, Cindy, just long enough to trick yourself in believing that maybe I can. That maybe this is my year. Maybe I can win. Maybe I can make 100,000. You know what? Maybe I can get to SMD. Maybe I can. But it's your mindset around those thoughts that you need to create. Maybe I can have a comeback year. You know what? Maybe I can get to CEO this year. Maybe I can. And I live my entire life, Chad, on maybe I cans. Maybe I can. And sometimes I can't. But my mindset is always maybe I can. The good news is this business does not require a lot of talent. Hey, Mitch? He's sitting in the hot seat here, right? This is not a talent game. This is a mindset game. This is a mindset game. Tom Brady isn't necessarily the most talented quarterback in terms of launch angle and how fast he releases the ball, but nobody would argue that his mental game is the top. That's what makes him special. Certain situations, his mental game is on a different planet. He sees the game different. My question for you in 2023 is, can you see the game different? But if you're expecting things to be different and you're not willing to change anything, that is insanity. That is insanity. So something's got to change. So that's the first thing. Number 2 is this. Drive activity, but be obsessed with results. Drive your activity, but be obsessed with results. You know what I realized? Is that activity doesn't buy baby formula. Activity doesn't pay the mortgage, but results do. Results pay the mortgage. Results buys diapers. Results pays the bills. Results gets me to where I need to go. But here's the thing. We all know that without activity, there are no results. So my focus is day to day, I focus on the activity, but week to week, I focus on the results. Every single day, I focus on the activity. But then every Friday, I look at the results. And if the results aren't there, it would be crazy for me to do the same thing 2 weeks in a row and not get results. Does that make sense? Say yes. Yes. You have to be getting results. You got to be out there and you got to be doing it. Now, you're not going to get it done without the activity, and don't worry about the results day to day, but every month is an opportunity for you to reflect 4 times on the results for the week. And that's how it works, right? It's a course correcting opportunity. Number 3, fear is killing our dreams. Fear is killing our dreams. The biggest dream killer is fear. Man, most of us, we avoid chasing our dreams because before we even start, we get into this spiral of self-doubt and worry. We haven't even started yet, and we already have anxiety. It's the 4th. What are you anxious about? You should be excited, right? Don't doubt yourself. Don't worry about failing. Failure is not a possibility. You got to get that out of your brain. But we stop ourselves from going all in. So let me ask you a question. If there's something that's going to stop you in 2023 from going all in, what's that going to be? What's going to stop you? What's going to stop you from getting out of your comfort zone and doing what you need to do to get the job done? Because that's where all the goodies are, outside of your comfort zone. I could sit here and try and motivate you and play all these YouTube videos and, go watch Ed Milet and you need to sit down with Jared for 20 minutes and get your mindset checked. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out what you're willing to fight for. And then you got to figure out how willing you are to get out of your comfort zone to get those things. If you did 3-person recruits last year, you hardly got out of your comfort zone at all. So either you're here to just kind of get by and coast off your team, or you got to change your mindset coming into 2023. Why are you here? And there's a fear of getting uncomfortable and doing the work and maybe self-doubt that's holding you back. You got to get through that. What's holding you back from recruiting the best kinds of people that you know? We're all so quick to talk to the people that don't have the money to sign their code, that don't have the money to get a license. What about all the people that are making 80, 90, and 100 grand a year at their job right now, freaked out about interest rates, knowing they're never going to make more than 120 grand at their engineering job? What kind of people do you want on your front line? What kind of people do you want showing up to training? Do you want people showing up to training in a jogging suit with messed up hair? Or do you want people showing up ready to learn? I'm going to find my best people in 2023. I'm going after the best people that I know. I just found a brother of mine down in the States. His name is Josh. This guy is super successful. He already owns 4 companies. Man, I sold him the freaking dream. He sold me the dream. We're already like best buddies. And there's nothing wrong with the cook making $11 an hour at Earl's. Trust me. But I'm not recruiting all fixer-uppers in 2023. I don't need another bunch of projects. I'm going after the best people that I know in 2023 because I got some massive gaps to fill in my legacy. And 2023 is going to be the year for it. I asked myself a question in January 2005 when I started. And I'll never forget it. I asked myself this question because I was teetering on, is this thing for real or is this thing not? I thought of that before I signed up, Brian, not after. My question was, what if this business was the key that unlocked a world by design? What if this business was the key that unlocked a world by design? And then I came to the conclusion that the only thing that could stop me from winning here was my own fear and my own doubts. And I made a decision before I signed up. If I wasn't willing to suspend my doubts, I wasn't going to sign up. I wasn't going to put myself through that pain. Now, you're here now. You might have doubts. I had doubts every single day along the way. That strategy didn't work very well. But I want you to ask yourself a question. What if this business was it? What if this was it? What if this was the year that you could unlock, you put the key in the keyhole, you unlocked it, and this door opened up, and everything that you wanted, no more debt, down payment for a new home, retire your spouse, making $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month. What if this was the year that unlocked that for you? How would that start to change your family? How would that start to change your confidence, your mindset? And I asked myself that question when I started. And I want you to ask yourself that question too. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
All right. As I start to wrap up, I'm 18 years into this business, and we've been blessed, right? Some months, hundreds of thousands of dollars per month are going into our bank account. I'm not even really sure where it's all coming from. But we've been blessed. But I want you to know that we're in the game and we're hungry. And yeah, I take some time off, and I'm in Mexico and for a week here, and I'm gone for a week at the lake. But I want you to know that I'm grinding. And I want to share with you something that I created with help of my team over the holidays that is going to be a benefit for every single person in this room and on this team. How many of you have ever thought, man, I wish the people that I prospect could have a little bit of insight into what our team's all about? Who ever thought that?
Yeah.
How could I explain like how our team is different and why we're different than other teams and why we're different by design? And how do I articulate Dream Team University and training and mentorship? Well, you don't have to worry about that because the guy that's been here almost 20 years, that's making millions of dollars a year, helped create this landing page that you guys are able to use. You don't have to don't get your prospects to book through it. That's for me personally. And you don't need to go and create this because you're not making $1 million a year, so I don't recommend doing it. But I want to introduce you to agentholbrook.com. What I've done is I've created a page where you can send your prospects to learn all about our team. I have over 50 testimonials. It talks about our training. It talks about a Dream Team University. It talks about everything that you get access to if you're looking at this industry as a new agent, experienced agent, a top producer. I've recruited industry guys from this, and there's a 15-minute meeting, or a 15-minute video that I'm not going to play, but I recommend going home tonight and taking a look at it because this is a 15-minute testimonial of what being...
Do you worry about making ends meet?
I'll play the 2 minutes.
Worrying if your income is enough to survive the month? Are you worried that your business isn't working and you spend your weekends worrying about work and you can never really switch it off and enjoy the fruits of that work with your family? Do you wake up in the morning dragging yourself to work, wanting to earn more money and get paid closer to your self-worth? Are you looking for a field of work that truly makes a difference for people? Looking for better leadership? And lastly, looking for more flexibility in your life? Those exact concerns are what we set out to solve when we created our team here at World Financial Group. My name is Steve Holbrook, and I've been a licensed advisor with World Financial Group Insurance Agency of Canada and WFG Securities Inc. for 17 years. Internally, our team name is the Slide Edge Dream Team. We built a roadmap to help people from all walks of life leverage a simple and effective business system at the same time being supported in an extremely positive and uplifting environment.
All my top leaders have testimonials. All the ones that were willing to do it are on here.
Becoming a part of the most dynamic, well-trained, and community-based teams in the entire industry, then the next few minutes are going to give you the blueprint of what thousands of agents have used in order to achieve exactly that.
Before WFG, my husband and I were really struggling. We had 4 kids. We didn't even know if we were going to be able to feed our children. Not just pay the bills, but actually feed our children. And so, when Stephen came to our house and talked to us about not just finances, but the opportunity and the possibility of what WFG could mean for us and what his team represented at the SEDT, for the first time in my life, I felt like I had hope.
Our family had a lot of debt. We had a lot of consumer debt, had made some really bad decisions when we built our new family home. And so we accumulated a lot of debt through just different avenues, putting the kids in hockey, my daughter dancing. And so one of the biggest, I think, when it came to our mindset every single month, how we were living our life, how we were sleeping at night, a lot of that was affected because of the debt that we were carrying and the feeling of never, ever being able to move ahead financially. And so one of the biggest things that the Slide Edge Dream Team has done for us and being a part of this organization is my cash flow has grown immensely.
Not only did we build our culture from a collection of core values, behaviors, and working practices, we built it in a way that also empowers every team member to fulfill their own purpose.
How does that look, you guys? I'd probably go home tonight and watch that video. I talk about how we train, why we're different, our Dream Team University, what you get access to be part of our team, why we're recruiting licensed agents, why within this great company we're on the pinnacle of it. So I hope you guys are proud of that. Right? That took a lot of work, and it's something you don't have to do until you're making millions of dollars a year, right? You just have to leverage it. And I'm not suggesting that you get all your meetings booked through there because they'll all end up in my calendar. So make sure you call me first if you want me to meet with somebody. But listen, my wife and I had a meeting about a month ago, and we had to make a decision. Are we just going to keep coasting, right? Growing at 25, 30% a year, making the money that we're making? Are we ready to double down? And I'll be honest, I wasn't super proud of where I was at personally in the business. I thought that I'm proud of what we built, but I know that I had another gear. And I know that there's some amazing people on this team, right? Like Kansas and a whole bunch of you guys in this room that aren't where you want to be. So we made some big decisions. we made some big decisions, and we got rid of a lot of distractions, and we canceled a lot of things for this year because we're all in, and we're taking this thing to the next level. And we're excited. We're excited to add 100 licenses in our base as a part of that 400, and we're excited to lead by example because we got great leaders in this room that are leading by example. And how can I sleep and take my foot off the gas until Marika and Dave are at $250,000 a year EMD? Right? Jay Trammell gets his SMD, and Trey and Chris are at EMD making $250,000 a year. So we're just getting warmed up. So listen, if you're brand new to our team, what a great time to be starting. What a great time to be joining our team. It feels like it's the very beginning, and I cannot believe that we've been here 18 years already, right? But we are just getting started. And if you've been around a little while and maybe this isn't your first year setting goals, that's okay too, right? But this year has to be different. This year has to be different. So you got to figure out what that is, and I just want you guys to be part of it. You know, I said at the beginning of last year I thought was a compound pound year. Last year was a 10x year for those that went to work. I think this year is another 10x year. I think those people that go to work this next 12 months, the economy the way it's at, people so looking for so many jobs, right? People so open, the business is virtual for now, right? The next 12 months, I think you can do things that you couldn't do the last 10 years. And I don't know if we're going to have another year like this next one for the 10 years following it. So my suggestion, instead of just, you could take my word for it, or you can kind of wait on the sidelines and wait to see, right? Last year was the first year. I think this is the second year of the 10X compound. And I think if you go to work this year, right, I think you can catch up for the last 3, 4, 5 years. And I think that 2023 is going to be the greatest year, not only in our company's history. I'm not too worried about that. Whether the company grows or not, I hope they do, right? Godspeed, right? But I'm more focused on our team and our culture and what we're trying to do and how we're trying to change the game. So I'm super proud of all of you for being here tonight, everybody on Zoom. Hope you guys are fired up, right? And we'll see you in 2023.